Okay, if you would tell me your full name and your date of birth.
My name is George B Saba.
You'll look at me.
Yeah. And my date of birth, December 24th, 1946.
Okay, and you know we're videotaping this. Do we have your permission to use this any way we want?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Where did you grow up and live in Ramallah?
I grew up in Ramallah, Shara al-Iza'a, Radio Street, and I went to school in Ramallah.
Did you only live in the one house, or did you live in several houses?
Two houses.
Where was which one was your first house? Was Radio Street?
No, first house was near Al Manara, near our property on the main street, and then we moved to the second house on Radio Street, Shara al-Iza'a.
And what do you remember about the houses? What can you tell me about them?
Well, the old house, it was a house that my father inherited from my grandfather. And we lived there for up to 1970 or 72, no, 70, I believe. And then we moved to the other house. No, I'm sorry. We in the 60s, because I came to the United States in 66. In the 60s, we moved to Radio Street.
What do you remember about the first house? Was it
an old building, and 3 bedrooms, and kitchen, and a bathroom. But it was still, the building exists, but now it's not for residential, it's commercial now.
Did you have, growing up, did you have electricity? And
Yes, we do. But not the fancy things that we have right now in other buildings in Ramallah.
What age were you when you moved here?
When I moved here, I was 19 years old.
Who lived in the house with you?
My dad, mom, 3 brothers, and 3 sisters.
What did your dad do for an occupation?
Well, before, he was the mayor of Ramallah from 1960 to 64. Then before that, he was the president Chamber of Commerce in Ramallah. From 57 to 60, then he became mayor. Before that, he was a councilman, and we own a liquor store in Ramallah in business.
And what do you remember about your grandparents?
Well, my grandfather died in June of 1946, and I was the first boy to be born in that year, December, Christmas Eve, in Ramallah, and they named me, actually my name is George B Saba. When I came to the United States, because they know George is easier, I changed it to George, but I carry my grandfather's name, which I never met. He died in June 46. I was born in December of 46.
That's your grandfather on your father's side.
Yeah, on my mother's side, he died very young in Lexington, Kentucky.
And what was his name?
Isa Sakhli.
Okay. And he was in the U.S., what did he do?
First, he served in the army for maybe a year or less. Then he was in, like most of the Ramallah people who came to the United States in Cincinnati or Lexington, they were selling Oriental tapestry. And he was a businessman. Then he went back and retired in Ramallah, and he died in Ramallah.
And what do you remember about Ramallah?
After I left?
But while you were there?
Well, Ramallah, best thing about Ramallah is it's a summer resort. I went to school, Ahliya College there. I enjoyed my years there, and then I went to Birzeit College. At that time, it used to be a college for freshman year. Then I came in 1966 to the United States, to Michigan.
And what did you think about Ramallah growing up?
It's big. I go to Ramallah as far as now. I go every year, twice, sometimes 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm. No, while you were there, while you were in Ramallah, what did you think of Ramallah? What was it like when you were going to school with your friends, with your family?
Oh, it was different than what I see it today. At that time, it's more Ramallah people were in Ramallah. Now it's about 1,500 to 2,000. And when you go like on Sunday, you hear the church bell rings, the stores close, they go to church. And whenever functions we have, I used to attend them with my dad, like weddings, engagement, funerals. I grew up in public life. I learned it from my dad. That's how I participate in so many functions in Ramallah.
Were there any traditions that stuck out in your mind?
Yes, respect for the elderly. Always pay tribute to your parents, and be good to your friends, and know how the extended family in Ramallah.
You said how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Total 6, 3 and 3, 3 boys, 3 girls.
In the house, did you share the rooms with your brothers? How was your house set up?
The girls I share with my brothers, sisters, and my parents 1 bedroom, 3 bedrooms.
Describe the house a little bit.
Well, the original house is 3 bedrooms and a living room, kitchen, and a bathroom. That's the original. Up to 1960, I believe 61, we moved to the other house until I came to the United States in 66.
And was it a similar house?
No, it's a bigger house. It's about 4 bedrooms, I believe, and a living room, kitchen, and a balcony. And it's very convenient.
Is it still there?
Yes.
Of course, you were young during the first war. You wouldn't remember, but any subsequent times of strife, of course, did you, living in Ramallah during the occupation, what sticks out in your mind as far as any tense times or any things like that? What was it like, I guess, up until that point?
I left Ramallah in 66. I went to Ramallah several times after that, but the best one I attended when the first Intifada broke out in 1989. I was there, and I stayed over my cousin's house, and next to it is a Palestinian camp. And I saw a few minutes after I arrived, the Israeli soldiers picked up few Palestinians from the camp. And the Israeli troops just were in the area. And that's my first, I seen them before, but I didn't see them that hard like this time when they arrested the people.
So prior to 67, it was under Jordanian rule.
That's from 48 to 67 under
Correct.
Jordan.
Do you remember anything about the Jordanian?
Yes.
I guess it was under a Jordanian police force, but any other strife in between there?
No, we hardly have any problems under Jordan from 48 to 67.
Did you ever travel into Israel or the other parts of the West Bank, or did you mostly stay in Ramallah?
No, I traveled through the West Bank, but not to Israel until after the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and Ramallah. I traveled, on most of my trips, I traveled via Tel Aviv airport.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And tell me about, come on in. Tell me about the school you went to.
I went to Al Ahliya College in Ramallah. I finished high school, and then I went to Birzeit College, which is now university. I finished freshman year, and then I left to the United States and I attended school in Michigan.
You came straight from there to Michigan?
That's correct.
And how did you get there?
My mother, she's American born. She was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. She petitioned for me, and I came as an immigrant. And then I went to Schoolcraft College, then I went to Wayne State University.
Okay. And what education did you get there?
I got a BA in political science and master's in public administration from Wayne State University.
And what did you do
Well, I start working. I've been with Access, which is the Arab Community Center for Economic and Social Service. I'm the director of the immigration services there for 37 years.
And tell us about when and where you met your wife.
Oh, I met my wife while she was visiting her sister in Detroit. My wife is from Jordan, from a city named Fhais. She came to visit her sister in suburbs of Detroit, and I met her in a picnic, and then we start talking, and then she went back to Jordan because she was on a scholarship program. Then went back to Jordan, then I contacted her, then I flew to Jordan, met her family, and then we had in November of 76 we got engaged, and then I got married in March of 1977 in Amman, Jordan.
In Amman. What's your wife's full name?
Atidal Salman Swais, her maiden name.
And where did you go on your honeymoon?
We went to England, to London,
And so after that,
and we came to the States.
where was your first home together?
In Westland, Michigan.
Did your wife work?
Yes, she retired as a teacher
She worked where?
in Detroit Public Schools. She has a master's degree in education.
You all have children?
Yes, I have 3, but unfortunately I lost one last year.
Can you give me their names?
Yes, Paul, and he's an attorney. He works in Kuwait right now. Janan, she's home, and she got her master's degree in public health from George Washington University. And Amjad, he graduated from law school in Wayne State, and then he passed the bar in Michigan and New York, but he died last year.
And you all your kids were born in Michigan,
That's correct.
or born and raised in Michigan.
That's right.
When you came to this country, what were your thoughts of when you first arrived here?
Well, it's a big change, for me. First of all, at that time I didn't have a car. I stayed over my uncle's house, and then 2-3 months later, I moved to my cousin's house because I went to Schoolcraft College. And then I attended 1 year, and then I moved to Wayne State, and I lived on campus, 6 years on campus, Wayne State University in Detroit.
Was anything overwhelming? Did you know English when you?
Yes, I studied English in Ramallah and in Birzeit because the courses were taught in English, Birzeit College.
Mm-hmm.
And the credit hours were transferred. We got credit for them.
And what has your experience been like living in the States?
Well, I've been in Michigan for I complete next month 46 years, going into 47 years. I like Michigan. We went through the last few years tough times, economic, but things getting better. Although I travel all over the country, but my favorite will be still Michigan.
And you go back to Ramallah often?
Yes, as a matter of fact, last trip I was in last year, within the last year I went 3 times. December was my last trip.
When you went back to Ramallah after you had been here and you went back for the first time, tell us the differences.
Well, I flew to Tel Aviv airport, and it's a big difference. You had to go through Israeli checkpoints, security forces, and because I left before the war started, so things changed.
What year was this?
In 71.
And was it any different going through there then it is now, or is it about the same?
Well, now it's a little bit different. Before it was harder.
You have family in Ramallah?
I have one sister. She works for the Palestinian National Authority.
And what do you think about what's going on in the whole of Palestine and Israel now,
in terms of
in terms of a process of looking for a solution to?
well, our problem is not that easy. We have to deal with so many issues: the settlers, the Israeli government, and it's not an easy. And the sticking points right now will be Jerusalem, right of return, and or compensation, and access to the land, to water, airspace. They give them authority, but it's not full. They still control the West Bank in essence.
And are you involved in anything that might further any better ties or any peace things between Israelis or anything like that?
No, officially, not officially, no. I served on the Palestine Affairs Committee with the Federation. We were elected. I attended the Palestine National Council in '87 when I was president of the Federation. We are granted the status of an observer.
And is there anything I haven't touched on that you'd like to tell us?
No, you covered basically.
Any particular stories or memories that sticks in your mind that you'd want to share or anything?
Not there, no.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank